Morning everyone. I am Swati. I am so excited to connect with you all today. Now I am explaining the topic is reaching the age of adolescence. Topics to be covered: what is adolescence and puberty? Second one is changes at puberty in male and female. Third one is secondary sexual characteristics. Four is endocrine system and hormones. Fifth one is sex determination in child. Sixth one is reproductive health. Reaching the age of adolescence. That means of reaching the age of adolescence is the mainly of reproduction. The reproduction is the fusion of male and female gametes. Production of offspring is the reproduction. The organism combines with the genetic information. Organism combined with the genetic information from its parents genetically unique. Most of the living organisms are able to produce only after a certain period of time in their life cycles is the reproduction. The reproduction is mainly involvement of the fusion of gametes, that is gametes of the sexual reproduction. In human beings, the life cycle is consists of several stages like of childhood, adulthood and old age. Childhood is the childhood is the development of the birth to of puberty stage, infancy, toddler, early childhood, late childhood, middle childhood. The early childhood is the 1 to 3 years, 0 to 1 is the infancy, toddler is a 3 to 4 years, and the middle childhood is 5 to 7 years, later childhood is 7 to 13 years. The childhood and adulthood in between we call as a puberty stage. The adulthood stage is 28 years to start up on next to of 40 or 50 years adulthood stage. After the adulthood stage, conversion of the stage is the old age. The adolescence is the period of life, then the undergo of human body different changes to a reproductive maturity is called adolescence. In 11 to 19 years of age, the human body undergo different changes and leading to a reproductive maturity is the adolescence. In the childhood adulthood stage in between we called as a puberty stage. After the adolescence is the after the adolescent stage is the adulthood. That is the adulthood is nothing but of to grow into the maturity. The puberty is the stage, the age in which human body undergoes several changes and the boys and girls show their capability to reproduce. In the human body, it starts transferring of genetically of puberty stage is the means of sexual reproduction. The puberty is the period, the life of a human beings become capable of reproduction. The changes that occur in the body during the adolescent stage is the individuals to reaching of puberty. The average onset of the puberty stage is females is different may compared to of males, and in the males is the starting males is the beginning at the age around is the 11 years is the puberty stage, hence at the age around 18 to 19 years of age. In females is the 10 to 11 years of the beginning at the age and the end at the age is around 18 to 19 years. But every individual there is a puberty stage influencing of certain factors like of heredity. What is heredity? Inheritance of the genetic information passing parent to of offspring is the heredity. The heredity is showing of inheritance that mainly because of dominance and recessive alleles. The dominant and recessive alleles, the showing expression is the inheritance. The inheritance is not a genetic disorder in the disease. This is the genetic disorder. Heredity is X-linked and Y-linked. Sometimes they may maybe XY linked heredity is showing the example of color blindness. Environmental factors also is affecting on the puberty stage such as diet and exercise. What is diet? Balanced nutrition in a diet is the diet. The diet is mainly of two types: overnutrition and undernutrition. Overnutrition is an excessive intake of food that may be causing effect of the obesity, and the imbalance means insufficient of the nutrition also may be affecting on the human body. Insufficient of the nutrition that may be causing of glycemia, and next is a vitamin B12 deficiency, anemia, vitamin A deficiency, xerophthalmia. Exercise is important for the day-to-day life because human body metabolism is depending on the exercise of human body. Exercise is also physical activity that growth of brain development and body development. Cardiovascular diseases will be decreases on the exercise day to day life. The changes in the puberty stage, there is sudden changes we observed in the puberty stage. That is increase in the height and weight also in the puberty stage. There is also increase in the arms and legs, grow faster than of the body. That physical growth is more in comparing to of males to of females. In females, the starting of puberty stage age is 11 to 13 years of age. In females is 13 to 11 to 13 years of age. In males is 13 to 15 years of age. In the puberty stage, we observed some sexual characteristics like of primary sexual characteristics, and next going on the secondary sexual characteristics we observed on in the puberty stage. The changes in the heart and lungs also, in the diameter of heart increases and weight also doubles in the size in the puberty stage. There is also increase in the size and capacity of lungs also. In the body changes we observe in puberty stage, that puberty stage mainly in the male and female is differentiated. In the males there is a larger in bones and muscles also is increasing. Muscles development also is increasing. Heart, lungs and compared to of girls, there is a broader shoulders and narrow hips. In females, there is smaller in bones, muscles, and heart, lungs compared to of males. There is a curvaceous in the body is the broader hips due to of enlargement of the pelvic bones and enlargement of the mammary glands. The changes in the voice we observed in puberty stage. Larynx is the also in a voice box. In the neck region, we observe larynx, pharynx. In the below the larynx region, voice box is present in the throat. That is a tube-shaped like piece we called as a cartilage. That cartilage is raising of pitch of voice. The pitch of voice before of the puberty, after the puberty, we observed in males. Before the puberty, there is a small in larynx, vocal cords are short and thin. After the puberty, larynx becomes the bigger and vocal cords are the lengthened and thickened. Before the puberty, there is a high pitched voice. After the puberty, is the deeper, thicker voice. Comparing to puberty levels, there is a beforeing of the puberty is a childhood. Comparing to of the puberty is the adolescence period. There is a changes in the primary sexual characteristics in the male, as the body is changing from the voice also we call as a crack or break in voice in males. The changes when larynx grows during the puberty stage, it produces out in the front of the throat we call as Adam's apple. Larynx grow in boys, males. Then the males there is a forming of tube like the tube likes we call as the Adam's apple in front of the neck region. There is the increase in the activity of sweat and sebaceous glands. Here the some figure is showing that sweat glands, sebum and sebaceous glands. The figure showing is the upper layer is the epidermis, in the below layer is the dermis, and in the between in lower region we call as a mesodermis. The sweat glands and sebaceous glands is producing of sebum. The sebum is the oil producing contents of cells. That cells is showing of secretion of the sweat in a releasing of outer layer of the skin, and there is a increasing of hair also increasing, and we see observed in the sebaceous glands producing of the sebum. That sebum is the oil producing of cells upper layer of the skin of epidermis and dermis, and also is the some hormonal imbalance to the forming of the producing of the sebum is the melanin. The increasing activity of the sweat and sebaceous glands. The glands is producing that sebum is releasing outside of the skin. We observed some physical characteristics shown on the face is the acne and pimples. This is producing production is the increasing the production of the sebaceous glands producing of sebum. We observed on the primary sexual characteristics on the face, and increasing of hair growth, and some pimples on your face, and some small dots also observed in your face. Here some questions is given. Try to answer the question. The adolescence period is A is 14 to 20 years, B is 11 to 19 years, C is 10 to 18 years, D is none of this. The adolescence period is 11 to 19 years. Larynx is called A. Music box, B. Voice box, C is respiratory organ, D is sound box. Larynx is called voice box, B is voice box. Initially, girls grow A. Slower than boys, B. Faster than boys, C is both of this, D. None of this. Initially, girls grow B. Faster than boys. The second sexual development of sex organs is a physical sex development takes place in the puberty stage. The primary sexual characteristic we observe in the height growth and Adam's apple. Next, weight also increasing. Next, internally of the physical characteristics shown outside of in we observe primary sexual characteristic, but secondary sexual characteristic organ development inside of the body. The sex organs of boys, males and females is the start developing of the sexual development. In male is the testes in the male, there is a maturing of the testes and producing of semen. In females, ovaries are enlarging and producing of ovum, and the testes is the production of semen, is the androgen is the hormone, and here the ovaries are producing of ova is the progesterone, estrogen, and there is a monthly menstrual cycle is started the puberty state level to 13 years of age. The monthly menstrual cycle starts and going on. Changes in the hormonal balance we observe in puberty stage, that most of the changes that occur in adolescence is the hormones. What is hormone in a human body is the control and coordination in order to maintain their homeostasis in nature. What is homeostasis? Homeostasis is the internal stable condition. There is a nerve coordination is a rapid coordination compared to of chemical coordination. In chemical coordination that belongs to of endocrine system and exocrine system. The endocrine system mainly belongs to of hormones. The endocrine system, the substance is released and secreted to of hormones. The hormones are chemical substance, and there is a produced and secreted to of endocrine glands. Hormones are non-nutrient chemical which are act as a intracellular messages and produced in a trace amount. These endocrine glands we call as endo means inner, crine means away, and endocrine systems is mainly depends on the tissues and organs, and this is the ductless glands, and endocrine system is producing hormone. That hormones is directly released into the blood and lymph and circulated into the blood at target sites, target tissue and organs. This endocrine system is depends on the hormones. First hormone is the scientist detected by the Starling. After the hormone is named detected by the secretin. This hormones is a somatotrophin that releasing of hormones. The over the hormones is releasing or lower hormone is releasing on affecting on the human body that may offer excreted through of short lived of the hormones. The short lived hormones is excreted through of bile and releasing to of urine also. Here the males is the testosterone from testes. In females, the producing of hormones are estrogen and progesterone in the ovaries. The before of the hormones, there is a three types of hormones. One is the amino hormones, peptide hormones, steroid hormones. What is amino hormone? Amino hormone is a single amino hormones. The single amino acid that producing on the epinephrine and non-epinephrine, tyrosine and tryptophan, melatonin. Next is the the peptide hormones are the small amounts that producing is the 4 to 59 of the amino acid, peptide amino acid, polymers of the amino acid that may be called as the protein amino acids, protein synthesis. The protein synthesis, protein amino acids are the long to comparing of larger amounts that releasing of 50 to 200 amino acids. These we called as the amino acids that is the releasing of the androgen of the testes and progesterone, estrogen, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormones. Third one is the steroid hormones. The steroid hormones we called as a carbohydrate side chains and the producing of the omega 3 and omega 6 fatty acid. These hormones three types mainly of the single amino acid. Next one is the peptide amino acid. Third one is steroid amino acids. These three amino acids and mainly depending on the harmonic level, the functioning of hormones helps in the menstruation of the sex gonads. The sex gonads of the testosterone of the testes and estrogen progesterone of ovaries. This testosterone and estrogen progesterone we call as the sex gonads, and again they were named of Leydig cells. The production of these hormones is only under the control of the another name of the hormone we secreted in the endocrine gland is pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is mainly the functioning of the sex hormones. Onset of the puberty stage, the hormones is the functioning in the pituitary gland. We call it as the pituitary gland. Again, the name is the master gland. This master gland is the production over of releasing of testosterone in males and estrogen in females. This released into the directly on the bloodstream and reach into the parts of the body because the hormone is directly involved into the blood, and there is involvement in the blood. They go for directly into the targets, and there is no there is no duct to form, and this is called as the ductless glands. And there is a stimulating in the body in the onset of the puberty stage, mainly functioning of the hormones. The secondary sexual characteristics development of the human body is showing appearance on the pubic facial hair, and in the females is we observe the pubic hair and mammary glands enlargement, and body hair also is become to a permanent in the male and female. The reproductive phase of the human being, mainly in the females, is the ovaries are become active in the puberty stage. That puberty stage is starting of the level 2 of 13 years of age. In the stage of where females is starting of menstrual cycle, and the ovum, one ovum is the onset of the ovary, become the mature is the taking of time is the 28 days. The mature ovum is enter into the oviduct when it get maybe of fertilized. It fertilizes, it develops the reaches to the uterus. This uterus is muscular and elastic and can grow many times its size, and when a fetus is development inside it. This is a female reproductive organ. Is this too is oviducts and fallopian tubes, and this is a uterus and cervix, the mesodermis, epidermis, and endodermis, three layers. Uterus cavity is also present inside of the uterus. The both reproductive phases of the human being is that before the embryo enters into the uterus is preparing itself by receiving on the lining of the blood vessels. It fertilized egg does not occur. This egg is disintegrated into the lining of the blood vessel is shed off. This process is blood flowing in terms of the menstruation, which lasts to of 3 to of 6 days. And the menstruation cycle is 3 to of 5 days. After the menstrual cycle is completed, then starts of the Graafian follicles that for producing of the ovaries, that ovum is releasing outside. Then the corpus luteum is taking of the ovary. Then the maturing or unmatured, and there is a fertilization occurring. The ovary is matured. Then the forming of pregnancy period. Then the matured is not completed. Then the shedding of corpus luteum, the releasing outside of the blood. The productive phase in the human beings is the first menstrual cycle begins in the females is the puberty is called as a monarchy. In the menstrual cycle starts in the females is 45 to 50 years of age, which is termed as a menopause. Endocrine system. The endocrine system is a glands that release chemical called as a hormones. Endocrine glands are ductless glands, and endocrine system mainly involvement of the metabolism, growth, and development of the puberty of the body. The endocrine system, major glands of the human endocrine system of hypothalamus, pineal gland, and thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, thymus gland, adrenal gland. Next is testosterone, testes, and next and estrogen, progesterone of ovaries. These are the pituitary gland, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus Hypothalamus is the region we observed in the main of the pituitary gland and pineal gland. The pineal gland we call as the dorsal wall of the diencephalon. It is a epiphysis is the endocrine gland. It is formed on the pineal gland separating of antegonadial sexual development. Pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, another name of the pituitary gland is a master gland. It produces of hormones. The pituitary gland is two types, adenohypophysis, neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis is the anterior lobe of pituitary is producing of ICTH, ICSH, TSH, FSH, MSH. The ACTH is the adenocorticotropic hormone. This hormone is a secretion of hormones of adrenal gland. In the ICSH, intestinal cell stimulating hormone, they stimulate the production of male hormones in the forming. And TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, it controls the secretory hormone from the thyroid gland. FSH is a follicle stimulating hormone. It stimulates the development of a follicle. It containing the egg cells. The male hormone is a stimulating of sperm production. Melanocyte stimulating hormone. It's stimulating of the pigment of the melanin. Prolactin is the stimulate the lactation in the females after the childbirth. In the posterior pituitary gland is the production of the two hormones. One is the ADH, next one is the oxytocin. What is ADH? ADH is the antidiuretic hormone. This hormone is the reabsorption in the kidney in the vasopressin, and there is a oxytocin is also in the contraction and muscle the uterus during the birth. Pancreas is just behind the stomach. The endocrine gland consists of cell clusters. We called as say islets of longer horns. The pancreas producing of two hormones. One is the insulin and glucagon. This is a protein promoting of the passage of glucose molecule into the body cells and regulate the glucose metabolism. In the absence of the insulin is also affecting of glucose is removed from the blood and excreted into the kidneys. This condition we call as a diabetes mellitus, and heavy urine is you process outside is the sluggish body metabolism. The second pancreatic hormones is a glucagon. It is a breakdown of glucagon into the glucose in the liver. This is a releasing of fat from the tissue of fat using the production of the carbohydrates. Adrenal gland is the adrenal gland is a lobe-like structure observed on the kidney is a pyramid-shaped structure. Is the outer layer of the adrenal gland is the cortex. Inner layer we call as a medulla. Outer layer of the cortex are the steroid hormones releasing of two types. One is a glucocorticoids and the next is a mineral corticoids. The glucocorticoids is mainly depending on the cortisol. That cortisol of fats and salt releasing levels. That glucocorticoids reabsorption of the water level in the electrolytes, that is DCT level observed on the kidney in the cortisol level of cortex level. And inner medulla is depending on the epinephrine and non-epinephrine. Epinephrine, non-epinephrine, there is a production of the calcium levels in the body that may be affected, or there is a producing of the calcium in the body that is directly released into the kidneys and the forming of glomerular filtration. Next, testis is the male reproductive organs of production of the hormone is the testosterone. The endocrine system is the ovary is the female reproductive organ. The female reproductive of producing of hormones of estrogen and progesterone. Pituitary gland hypophysis onset on the brain is the forebrain is the thymus below of the thymus, and there is a forming of a diencephalon. Is a pituitary gland is the hormone is released by the gland in the growth hormone. This growth hormone and inhibitory hormone is mainly of somatotropin depending on the growth hormone and releasing hormone. Thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is this gland releasing of the thyroxine in the body metabolic rate changes. The body metabolic rate changes mainly depending on the oxygen level of cellular production of ATP. That oxygen is directly involved into the blood circulation level. The ATP will be increasing. The oxygen levels will be increasing in the blood in the erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis is nothing but there is a production of the red blood cells, and there is thyroxine is releasing in the thyroid gland. That may be deficiency of the thyroid gland may causing affecting of the Voice-Cocker disease. This disease is on a iron deficiency of thyroid, and the thyroid gland is the in the neck region. We observed swells up and causing of bloods in the neck region, and there is a lobe-like structure, a H-shaped, butterfly wing-shaped. We called as a thyroid gland. The thyroid gland and the parathyroid gland. The thyroid gland deficiency may causing effects of a Voice-Cocker. Parathyroid gland is the backside of neck region. Lobe, four lobes. We called as a parathyroid gland. The parathyroid gland may be affecting of calcium levels in the body. This is the deficiency occur in the iodine deficiency in the diet, and this thyroid deficiency may be causing of maxedema and simple Voice-Cocker deficient cretinism, mainly affecting observed on the simple Voice-Cocker disease is a maxedema we observed in male and female, and cretinism is the child development growth is unnecessarily we observed in cretinism, and there is a mental retardation is also observed in the cretinism. Adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is also in the response to the body of the stressful situation. The adrenal gland mainly of the located in the top of each kidney. This adrenal gland releasing of hormones is the mineral levels in the body. Mineral levels on the glucocorticoids and mineral corticoids. That depends on the adrenal level. Inner cortex and outer layer is the medulla. Pancreas. The pancreas we called as a islets of Langerhans. This islets of Langerhans, there is a three types of production of the pancreas. One is the alpha cells and beta cells. Next one is the delta cells that may depending on the insulin and glucagon level, that directly protein promotes to the passage of glucose molecule into the body cells and regulating to of glucose metabolism. The second pancreatic hormone is the glucagon that stimulate the breakdown of glucogen to the glucose into the liver. This may be on releasing of adipose tissue. The fat can be used for the production of the carbohydrate. This gland's release hormone is the insulin, which lower the blood glucose level. This hormone is not secreted in a sufficient quantity. The person may be affecting of diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. Here some questions is given. Try to answer the question. The thyroxine hormone is produced by A. Adrenal gland, B. Testes, C. Pituitary gland, D. Thyroid gland. Thyroxine hormone is produced by thyroid gland, D. Thyroid gland. The male hormone is called A. Estrogen, B. Thyroxine, C. Testosterone, D. Insulin. Male hormone is called testosterone. Answer is C. Testosterone. Menstruation occurs once in about A. 28 to 30 days, B. 25 to 30 days, C. 45 to 50 days, D. None of this. Menstruation occurs once in about 25 to 30 days. Which of the following is male gonads? A. Gonad, B. Testes, C. Chest, D. Air. Which of the following is male gonads? B. Testes is the male gonads. Another name of the male gonads is the Leydig cells. Production of thyroxine required A. Magnesium, B. Sodium, C. Iodine, D. Bromine. Production of thyroxine required C is the iodine. Pancreas is responsible for maintaining A. Blood pressure, B. Fat metabolism, C. Blood glucose level, D. Electrolyte balance. Pancreas is responsible for maintaining C. Blood glucose level. Determination of sex of a child is depending on the sexual characteristics and reproduction. Fertilization. The human beings have the 46 chromosomes in the nuclei of their cells, out of which 44 chromosomes are autosomes. The autosomes is the sexual sexual chromosomal of two chromosomes. One is the X and Y. Any chromosome are then sex chromosome. Two chromosomes are the sex chromosomes. The determination of a sex of a child sperms testosterone producing of the spermatogenesis. The spermatogenesis producing of testosterone of testes to the sperms, and in females the progesterone estrogen hormones. The production of the ovaries of ovum is the 23 of chromosomes in the males and 23 chromosomes of the female. The sperm and ovum, the fertilization occur, the half of the number of the chromosome cells occurring in the body. The determination of sex of a child during the fertilization, if egg fuses the 22 chromosomes of the autosomes, one is the allosomes. The fertilization of the zygote is the forming of a male child. During the fertilization, in egg fuses to over 22 chromosomes. One is the X chromosome of the autosome. That resulting zygote will development of the female child. Only of the determination of male and female child is depending on the after the fertilization, the father and half of the father and half of the mother responsible for the determination of a sex of a child. The reproductive health, mainly adolescence, is the time is increasing the growth and development of the body is depending on the nutrition level and physical exercise level and food habits and nutritional diet. Nutritional needs of adolescents. Poor nutrition that may be offered. There is no nutrition in the food that may be affecting on the body. That overeating of the food that may also affecting on the body. Over in the excessive intake of food is causing affecting of the obesity. Is over intaking food that is a fat storage in the body that may be affecting on the health to the cardiovascular diseases, health issues and health problems. The drinking in a right amount of the osteoporosis of bone fractures during of the old stage, the daily of taking of milk of calcium insufficient in the body. The diet is heavily depending on the decreasing of the energy intake of food, excess fat, deficiency of calcium, riboflavin, vitamin A, folic acid, fiber. The deficiency of calcium is also affecting, and folic acid, vitamin B12 also affecting, riboflavin, vitamin B6, and vitamin A is affecting on the xerophthalmia, color blindness. Fiber is sufficiently taking in your food. 4 kilocalories per the carbohydrate and 4 kilocalories per the protein in the daily in a diet, and 9 kilocalories per the fat. The nutritional need of adolescence, a balanced and healthy diet of adolescence is the promoting of the growth and sexual maturity, the taking of the calorie management of the food, that a diet is controlling of a human body that may be healthy and the growth and development and body metabolism of a human body. Nutritional need of adolescence. Calcium and iron is most important for growth and development of the body. Vitamin D also in the UV radiation and the sun exposing of vitamin D is also daily requirement of in calcium and observation of taking of calcium of taking of milk in day to day life. Once in female starts menstruating, there is a need of iron, increasing of menstrual iron, the calcium, magnesium, boron, vitamins D and K, vitamin K and zinc, copper, magnesium, phosphorus, etc. Are there is a build of strong and healthy bones. There is a increasing of using of micronutrients and macronutrients that may be affecting on that may be in the useful for the female menstruation cycle and also female body growth and development using of proteins and vitamins. And next is antioxidants. Physical exercise is better to digestion, more efficient to absorb toxins from the body, eliminating of toxins from the body. There is the improving of blood circulation and increasing the respiratory efficiency of lungs. And physical activity is also important for the combat of the stress and strain of the adolescents. The using drugs is mainly affecting of the adolescents and using of alcohol and tobacco is also in the high risk of cardiovascular diseases and other diseases also. And drugs is using of maybe directly affecting on the brain dead may causing effects of human body. Such habits affect the health and adolescence of the loss of self confidence and control over the themselves. Thank you.